See here, today's topic is methods. Here. So what is exactly method? So method is nothing but, so in Python, as we know that everything is an object. Okay. So when you want to hold more than one statement under one unit, like a one unit, then we'll require a methods. So method is a collection of like statements, collection of statements which are enclosed in a group. If you want to make them as group, then that is called a method. So in general, methods, we have that some inbuilt methods we have, and also some user defined methods will have it. That means of functions we'll call them as. So some of the inbuilt functions we have, that one: append, count, extend, insert, pop, remove, and reverse, and sort. So these are the things we have inbuilt in a Python. Okay. So just how will you do that? So when you have a list of variables, I have list, if you want to add one more element to that list, there we have inbuilt method, that is append method. So append is used to add extra element to that existing data. See, previously we created a list with the elements of 5. We are going to append one more element to this list. So what's the element we are going to append here? We are appending a 6 element 6 to that existing list. Okay, that thing we did here. And next thing, we also have some inbuilt functions, as I said, that count. This is also, count is also method. So count list dot count of 2, list dot count of 2. 2 means what we are doing here, we are counting how many number of times, how many number of times, how many times 2 shows up here in the list. So how many times we have 2? One time we have it. That's why we got that count is one time. So when we create that count, list dot count here, if you want to make that, if I increase that list count value will be, let's try to increase that list equal to, so 1 comma 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma. So just we'll run this one, and we'll check it how many times. See, the 2 is, we have 7 times. These all are inbuilt methods. These are inbuilt methods. We can use that insert, pop, remove, reverse, and all sort. Okay. Now we'll move that how the user defined, how the user defined functions can be created, how that user defined functions can be created. So let us discuss about that user defined functions here. See, a function, as I said, that it is like a group of statements, group of statements which are enclosed between like a name. Under a name we'll write a group of statements here. So in this topic we are going to cover that what is the def keyword, simple example of function, calling function with bracket, then so like accepting parameters. Okay, so how will you accept the parameters and print that various return values, that is a print versus return values. And also we have adding in logic inside the function, multiple returns inside the function, adding loops inside the function, and tuple unpacking and interaction between that functions, we'll write it. Okay, interaction between that functions. Okay, let us discuss about keyword define. See, def is a predefined keyword which is used to define the function. So after this one, we are writing a name of the function here. We are creating a name of the function, and inside of this function we have that arguments. Arguments here is an optional thing. How will you create the name of the function? While creating the name of the function, we should follow the rules of identifiers. We should follow the rules of identifier. So what are the rules? We should not start the function with a number. We should not contain, the function name should not contain special characters, and the spaces are not allowed in the function name, and we should not use keywords as identifiers. Okay, keywords as a function name. So those are the rules while we should follow while we creating that function name. And inside of this function we are writing a documentation string. So how will you write the doc string? By using triple single quotes and we enclosed. So whatever the information we are writing here, this information is called documentation string. This message is only to write to make others to understand. So what we are doing, what is the purpose of this function, we'll write here. The message will write about the function. So this message used to understand about that function, that string, whatever the string we are writing here is called documentation string. This is called doc string. Okay, so how will you write the functionality of can be written here? Sample function we are writing here. Define def say hello. Here we separated say and hello with the underscore symbol. We are not giving any space here. For example, if I give the space instead of underscore, if I run it, we'll get a syntax error. So we should not give the space between the names. If you want to make separate of these two, we should use underscore symbol. Now we got that. No errors we got here. Inside of this method or function, inside of this function, what we are doing, we are writing a statements here. What is the statement we are writing here? We written here print hello. We are doing the operation. That means we are printing some message. We are printing a message here. So that is say hello. Say underscore hello will be used here. And calling a function with a statement. So how will you call the function? Function, we are calling the function name and brackets. So if you want to call the function, we should follow this rule. That is a function name, that is a function name and brackets. So simply we return that message here, and we are calling this function by using the function name. So I will call this one with the function name, and brackets is used to call the function name. We written hello, that's why we printed. If I write hello Prabhu, and if I run this one, and if I call this method, then hello Prabhu is got printed here. So whatever the message we return inside of the function, the same message will be printed here when we call the method. If we call the method, the message will be printed here, whatever we return here. So if I want to get that hello, automatically the information will be printed. So what is the meaning of here? Simply we are writing a message what we written there. So now how to accept the parameters or arguments? Parameters also called arguments. What are the arguments? These are called arguments. Inside the function, whatever the names or variables we have, those called parameters or arguments. So this is the function name we created, greeting, and the name we written, and the print of hello, and name we kept here. So when we keep Joseph will be printed here. Joseph will be printed there. So let me give that Joseph, and when we call this method, and hello Joseph is printed. So when we give that instead of Joseph, if we give that Prabhu, and Prabhu message will be printed there. So whatever the message will give there. So if I give that instead of Prabhu, if I give Venki, and Venki will be printed there. Instead of Venki, if we give that quantum robotics will be printed here. Yeah. So whichever we give inside of this method, we are passing a parameter. Here we are passing a parameter. So that thing will be created here. And the next thing, using a return value. Function can also return the result. After performing the operation, instead of printing the result there itself, we can also return the result. Okay, so I will return it. Here we are using a method add underscore number. We are taking a addition of two numbers. That's why we are passing the two parameters here, number 1 comma number 2. Number 1 comma number 2 we are using here. So and the result we are returning, what we are doing here, return number 1 plus number 2 we given. So we are doing, we are returning the value. So when we run this one, and when we call the method, while we calling this function, we are passing the values as a parameters. When we are passing the values as a parameters, so 4 plus 5 we got the 9 here. 4 plus 5 we got the 9 here. Okay, so okay, see here, instead of directly return, we can also do it some x equal to number 1 plus number 2. Okay, so instead of number 1 plus number 2, we can write x here. Same operation we are doing, same result we got here. Okay, so we can do, see the simple addition operation we done here, that added two values, 4 plus 5 result will be stored in the x variable, and we are returning that result of x to the calling function. From where we got call the function, there will get the result return. That x will be returned to that result here. Okay, so here just we are writing add of result. When we print that result, we are storing the result in a variable of result. So the result can also be stored in other variable. We are calling the function by passing a parameter. The return value will be stored in the result variable. From this result variable, we are printing the result. Okay, so if you pass the two strings, what will be happen? As we know that a plus symbol can be used to concatenate the two strings, number 1 plus number 2. Instead of number 1 plus number 2, it will concatenate 1 plus 2 1 2. Only adjust adding of the two strings, 1 2 will be happen here. Okay, so the major difference between print and return. So what is the print and return? Print, the result will be prints here itself. Okay, result will be printed here, but return send the result back to the function call. Here the result is printing here itself, but result will be sent to back to the function. Okay, so that's the thing we are doing here. So how we are returning the values from here to there. So here we have to understand that how we are returning the result. When we print the function inside that method, inside the function, the result will be printed here itself. But when we return the result, result will goes to here function call. Result will go to the function calls. Okay, you can clearly mention that. So for example, here I'm mentioning that a message printing result in function. For a better understanding, I'm writing it, comma, executed. Okay, just we are printing of result here. When you call this one, it's printing the result in the function itself. That means this message got printed here itself. Printed here is itself. Here we are returning the result. When we are returning the result will be returned to function call. So where it returns to that same function call. Okay, here that result, the result 10 plus 5, the result will be returned to this function. Okay, for better understanding, we are taking x equal to so I'll write here print of printing return result here. So how we are printing the return result? X will be holded. See, when we run it, the return result will be 15. So that means when we call this function, the result will be returned to the function call. From where we call, the result will goes to there. Okay, that is a printing return result to the 15 here. So if you want to save the result in the third variable, that's the thing what we did here. Okay, but what's the problem here? While we returning the result, we must hold the result in a variable. Okay, that's the thing we have to remember. If you will not hold the result will be missed somewhere else. Okay, so how will you add the logic to that internal function? So logic means, for example, if you want to get that even or odd numbers, as we know that if you want to find that even or odd, the number must be divisible with 2. If the number is divisible with 2, that is even number. If it is number is not divisible with 2, odd number. So that means 20 modulus 2 equal to 0 is the logic here we're writing. We're writing the logic 20 modulus 2 is equal to 0. That is the logic true. If it is not equal to 0, logic false. So we are writing the same logic here. Even checking. What we are checking? We are checking the even. Entered number is even or not. Entered number is even or not, we are checking. So for that we return a function. See, we are returning that logic here. We are returning a logic instead of a value of the variable. Instead of that value, we are returning the logic result. So we are checking that when we get the return value is true, that is a even number, because here we send it 20 is even number, so 20 is divisible with 2. That's why we got the result is true. Instead of 20, if I send 21, we'll get the result is false, because 21 is not divisible by 2. 21 is not divisible by 2. So that's why we'll get the false result. Okay, so check if any number is in the list, in the given list or not. Okay, we are going to check that particular number. Check even list. Okay, so just we are take that the list we required for loop here. So because we are going to check element by element whether that element is even or odd. We're going to check that element by element whether that element is even or odd. Okay, we are doing it here. So if that number modulus 2 is equal to 0, return true, else pass. So here the pass is used to skip the execution. If you want to skip the execution, that means without statement. If you want to write some loop or some conditional statements without the statements, we'll use the pass as a skipping of the execution part. So when we run this method and when we pass the list here, what is the true, what is the false, we'll get it. See here, when you're checking that one, we'll get that false. Checking two, true, and false. That's why you're getting only true result. Because in the false, what we did here, else part we passed the execution. We are not printing anything here. So instead of pass, if I write something like print of odd, just we'll write it. So we'll run this part and see here, we got that odd true, odd true. Okay, we got that odd and true here. So that's why we'll get it. So here, so what's the common mistakes we do here? Simply return false. Return false. When we return the false, then result will be false because the last element is odd. Given in the given list, last element is odd. The given list or last element, that's why you got the result is only false. So how will you do it? How to hold that all the result in the true and false? The method we should go with that pass. Pass is the method. Okay, and the last statement we return, we use that return a false operation. Whenever this list is completed, the false will be returned. The last statement is used to check the list checking is completed or not. So to do that one, we are using else. So the same result we got true. When you give that 1 3 5, we'll get the false here because the last element will be like that false conditions here, because there is no even condition here. There is no even number in the given list. That's why you got that false as a result. Okay, if you want to return all the even numbers in the list, if you want to return all the even numbers, so what we're doing, we are taking an empty list here, even numbers equal to empty list. We are going to store that result into the empty list. To store the result in the empty list, what we're doing, we are using append method. We are using append to add the even numbers to that even number list. Okay, so after execution of all this for loop, we are returning that even numbers. So when we execute this one, when we pass the elements, it will only return that even numbers. Even if I increase instead of 6 comma 8 comma and 10, I'm going to add, so these two numbers can also be returned here. Okay, 2 4 6 8 10 will be returned. So which holds that only even numbers into that even numbers array. So in even numbers list, sorry, even numbers list here. So we are holding that all the even numbers into that even numbers list in the even numbers underscore even underscore numbers list. So that stored result will be returned by using that return even underscore number statement. So this return value will be goes back to the function call from where we are calling here. So from there we got the result will be printed here. So if you pass only odd numbers, even we are not passing a single even number, then empty list will be returned, because we have taken only empty list by default. So when there is no even number, simply will get that even. Even if we pass one element, 6 is even number. So when we run it, that will be held with our single element. So if you remove that one, the same empty list will be returned here. Okay, so if you want to return tuples for unpacking, if you want to return tuples for unpacking, so what we are taking stock prices with a pair of values like a tuple and tuple. So list of tuples, how we are creating, because all the tuples here, we have three tuples are enclosed between square brackets. That means list of tuples, we can say them, list of tuples. When you run this one, it will execute. When you run it, it was printed here. So we are printing here. So I'm just if I want to print only stock prices, stock comma price, in stock prices we are printing only stock. Here when we use only item, we are not using two variables here. We are printing only item, means a pair, both the pairs, Apple with the 200, Google with the 3, Microsoft with the 400, like. So like this one, when you take the two parameters here in the for loop and two variables in the for loop in the stock prices, first value will be stored into the stock and second value will be the stored into the price. Okay, so that's why we can get that values individually by printing stock separately and the price will be separate values. This is called unpacking. So we are splitting stock price or stock values into stock and price value into the price. So we are doing the same thing here. So now we are going to similarly functions will be returned tuples, and we can do that. Tuples can also be returned by using this one. So how we are doing that? Employee underscore check working hours we are going to check here. For that, current maximum hours we are taking that 0 hours as the maximum hours. We're taking default values. Employee of the month equal to empty string we are taking, and employee comma hours in the working hours. Employee working hours. If the hours is greater than current maximum is starts with 0. So if it is that, current max equal to hours will be holded by the current max. So employee of the month will be equal to employee when it matched that maximum number of. So just we are executing and we are calling, we are sending that parameters here. So when we run this one, when we pass that work hours, because work hours is not defined here, so that's why we're getting that error here. So to do that interaction between these two, we are passing the parameters here. Okay, so there we have that random method inside from the shuffle. So it will take that it will shuffle the data. It will shuffle the data. So see, I given that sequence order 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 5, and when you use that shuffle, okay, when you run this one, it's sorry, we may problem we yes, shuffle the data is what shuffled here. Okay, that is that order will be shuffled. So this function will be used to shuffle that numbers while we giving that multiple inputs. Okay, so just we are taking that empty string and 0 character, and that is string, empty string. We can shuffle the data. So when we shuffle the data, the position will be varied. So like we are developing a one same guessing of the number like 0 comma 1 comma 2. Pick the number 0 comma 1 comma 2. When you run this one, that guess the number should be different. Like when you guess the number, when you try to guess it, for example 2, sorry, here we'll give that guess number 2. So output will be just we guess the correct number. Okay, so 0 1 comma 2. So what we are doing, we are printing that. So whatever the number we guessed, that is the first thing, correct. Sometimes it will not guess the number. We are unable to guess the number, it will print that empty, just a guessing number. So just that guessing correct or wrong. Okay, we'll get the result correct or wrong by using this method. So now we are going to guess this. Let's see. Method we return define name mixed up list. Yeah, sorry. So this function is not defined here, so which is linked with other thing, that's why it's getting error. Okay, most recent callback will get it. So like this we can develop any application like games or something like by using the functions here. Okay, so here I'm going to give that practice session for that functions. So you'd have to develop that task here, functions exercise we are giving. So level one, like just this is the session. I'll upload this into GitHub and I'll share with you. Just try to work with this. Just try to work with this level 2. These are the tasks I will upload into this one. Try to develop this. After this one, I'll upload the solutions in the same GitHub. You can work with that. Okay, I'll download and I'll work share this with you. You can get it. So let me download this. So GitHub, so are you guys created GitHub account? Functions